behind. Check the radio, big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if there was ever a time I wanted to come back here on this broadcast, back to where I belong, I think this might be the day. I'm back home, Iowa. I'm back in the famed Newton, Iowa Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here live on the show here on PT Race TV, the Pit Stall Racing Series, about to set sail on this hard racing action. Hi, everyone. I am the Crusader, Christian Driver, joining you guys here today. We got you guys a pretty good one today, ladies and gentlemen. ARCA Series down here for 120 laps to the distance. Some heavy duty, all terrain, all racing out. Drivers ready to get it down to business, get down to the action. So, as our usual goes, we got to listen to the drivers and get their thoughts. Our first one we'll start out here will be the one that's in the big old candy up machine there. You know him well. The 21 is Daniel Holloway. Dan, you got a copy down there? Quick, somebody pull his strings. He's not talking down there. It looks like he may not have the copy there, so I guess we'll leave him be. Man, I got all that intro and everything started, and they don't even have the time to come talk to us. I don't understand it. Well, let's see if we can hear from Michael Pratt here. Michael, you got a copy down there?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, well, we got Pratt down there at least talking with us here. Michael, good to hear from you again, sir, and great to see you back on the show. How's things been feeling so far as you get kind of riled up here down in the Iowa Speedway?
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me on here, and they're really loose. These cars are going to be a handful. I think there's going to be a lot of tire fall off, and I think people are going to be doing a lot of slip and sliding.
Iowa Speedway, well been known for being a driver's track and a track that can really test the best of drivers, but it is kind of a multi-groove, and for some cars, how does it feel with the ARCA car in this case?
Well, to me, it's kind of like a, I don't know, one track or one lane right now, but who knows during the race. Practice, bottom lane's been the best.
For sure there. All right, well, Pratt, we do appreciate your time down there.
Thank you.
Michael Pratt, ladies and gentlemen, are on the line. Time to listen in to the big BA man himself. He ain't no Dennis, he ain't no Ryan, but he is Bobby Anderson, the Interstate Batteries 18. Bobby, good to hear from you again, sir.
Yes, sir. How are you today?
Doing pretty good here on our end here. Right now, getting a feel for what it is like here at Iowa Speedway. How is the track holding up for you so far?
He's slick. It's slick. It's going to be a lot of patience here, a lot of throttle control doing this one tonight.
A lot of throttle control, a lot of controlling of the track here. Now, you say it's slick down there. Are you referring to the track itself, or is it the tire wear kind of coming off?
The way the tire wear is going to come off on the beginning, I believe it's going to be a little bit loose in the beginning. It's going to get really tight. So the line you're going to choose early on is going to really dictate what's going to go down toward the end of the race, I believe.
For sure there. Well, Bobby, do appreciate your time down there, sir.
Thank you.
Bobby Anderson, ladies and gentlemen, giving you guys a little inside look on how they're feeling about the track and their race today. Another driver ready to give us some insight on that, too. The 61 Frank Hughes and his Hughes Garage 61. Frank, good to see you back on the show today, sir. You're kind of light on there. I think I heard you say one moment. A lot of folks, I think he might be a little busy.
Got a copy.
Yeah, you got a copy now? Alright, good to hear from you again, then, Frank.
How are you?
Doing pretty good. Right now, we're seeing you kind of in the garage, in the pit stall right now, kind of laying it out. Are you just kind of letting everyone else get their laps in, just kind of seeing how they do, or what are you kind of thinking down there?
I already got my feel in. It's gonna be a little bit loose off. If you're a little bit too quick to the throttle, you're gonna have a good throttle control here.
Good throttle control, and also I've heard some drivers say that kind of the braking zones are a little bit tougher to kind of figure out and kind of be acquainted with. What's your thoughts with that in this case?
Yeah, the braking zone. If you overshoot it, you're gonna have an issue. You're gonna wash up.
For sure there. All right, well, Frank, nevertheless, we do appreciate your time down there. Best of luck down in that 61 today.
Thank you very much.
Hughes Garage, ladies and gentlemen, on the line there and on the chat. Down here from an old friend of ours here, a driver that usually likes to bring it down to the house and fight it on back. The 84, Len McNeese now on the line. Len, how you doing, bud?
Doing good this evening. How about yourself?
Not too bad either on our end here, Len. Well, nevertheless, going from one short track to another, although this one a little bit shorter in length, a little tougher to master. How is that kind of faring for what you kind of learned from other tracks beforehand?
I don't know. This one is going to be, I think it's, I don't know. Tires is going to be a big issue. Position on the track there, on the start, maybe on restarts. I just think restarts and starts going to be the real key to this thing.
Did kill these things indeed. Now, I know obviously there's a lot of tension, a lot of strength that comes from kind of running this kind of track, kind of run. For you, really, where does the overall speed lay? Is it kind of going into that short run to get the kick pace out, or do you think the long run's going to be where kind of the best driver's going to survive?
I'm going to bet on the long run tonight. If you can save your tires and be there at the long run, I believe that's going to be the key to it, I hope.
All right, well, Len, we do appreciate your time down there. Best of luck in the track.
Hey, well, thank you, sir.
Len McGee's, ladies and gentlemen, on the line there. Well, we've heard from some of the savvy vets. I think it's time we heard from an old rattlesnake, because remember, Van Ness says, beware of the snake. He's on now with us here at Rebel Con in the 88 quality car. How you doing tonight, bud? I know he's got a line down there. Gone. Okay, either he's he might be off the mic, or I think maybe he might be letting his I think he might be letting one of his family members play with the wheel. That's usually not what Con does, so I'm gonna take the latter of it and say probably one of his family members is busy with the wheel right now. Try listening real quick here with Tim Williams real quick before we get back to the call here. Tim, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, Chris. How are you?
Oh, doing pretty all right on our end here. I see you all suited up in that old black helmet down on the tee. Are you feeling kind of ready for this one?
I am, I think.
All right. Well, I've heard a lot of drivers talk about how slick and how tough the terrain is on trying to keep this car stable. What's kind of been your thoughts of this old 45 today?
Well, it's just you got to play with it in the corners, coming in or going in and coming out. Yeah, it's a tricky track. It's got lots of bumps to it.
Really does indeed. Well, nevertheless, Tim, thank you so much for your time down there.
Not a problem. Have a good evening.
You too. Tim Williams, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we'll listen to a super speedway driver in his own right, but a tough driver to master on all tracks. Gordon Larson Jr. in the big 00. And Gordon, we haven't really seen you too much on these short tracks really put up the fights and put up the fences, but nevertheless, the 00 seems to be kind of focused and ready to go. What's your thoughts on this today?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we got here. I guess we'll kind of see if it stays green, but struggling a little bit tonight.
Where seems the struggles be for you in this case?
Just kind of 1 and 2 right now. Just feels a little choppy with the car.
For sure there. All right. Well, nevertheless, Gordon, we do really appreciate talking with us there, bud. Best of luck as you get things figured out down the track.
Thank y'all.
Gordon Larson Jr. there on the line here. We'll see if Corey Coe's got anything to say here on the line. Corey, you got a copy down there?
Yeah, you got me?
Yeah, we got you. How's it going today here, sir?
Oh, man, I'm probably going to struggle a little bit at first, man, to be quite honest with you, but I think I'll figure it out about a quarter of the way in and work my way back up to the front.
Well, you seem to have figured it out back at Atlanta Motor Speedway / Super Speedway, popping that one out of the hat here. Now, I know that Speedway is a lot shorter track and a lot different style of racing, but how's it kind of fair for kind of figuring out how the car likes to stiffen up compared to what it was in Atlanta?
Well, you know, Atlanta's turned into a completely, you know, super speedway style track, so the cars are set up specifically for that type of draft package. Here, it's all about not sliding your tires and not overworking the steering wheel and the right acceleration to brake pedal usage. I mean, and you know, whoever does that the best and can stay out of trouble, because the restart's gonna be pretty gnarly here. I guarantee it. We'll have a chance to win this thing.
For sure there. Corey, thank you so much for your time down there.
Yeah, man. Enjoy.
You say it's a joy. Let's see if we can enjoy it today. We're going to get down to the track and down to the race action here, ladies and gentlemen. Presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Let's enter into the qualifying zone. I'm interested to see just how far and how long this adventure will deter some drivers here. Top 5 right now from practice: Daniel Holloway, Blake Trawick, Chantel Bottle, Derek Paulson, Robert Kahn. Your 5 fastest in the old rattlesnake. No surprise there, but can he continue his big streak? He's got a lot of run here. He's got a lot of speed. He's going to have to figure out. Let's see what he can do. Drivers now being told to enter into the pit stalls and get their cars ready for a qualifying session. 2 laps will be presented on their and on their front, so they only get 2 chances here. We'll see how their laps fare and how their laps go. So here we go. We'll start with the number 18 Interstate Batteries machine. It is going to be Bobby Anderson on the first of the show. First up on the march, first up on the launch. Send them down through their corners and send them down on the track. Anderson, Trawick, Wall, Blount, Hughes, and Holloway will settle them in. Anderson looked like he got a little hang time on the front of that nose there, coming down through turn number 1 and 2. I know that's old rusty bumps down there. You're probably wondering, oh, what the heck am I talking about? I'll give you a little insider in for that in just a minute. But right now, working the outside lane, trying to sneak his way down the corners, looking to go right into the drive. First lap time has now been set to 23.83. A little slow there, 23.77 for Daniel Holloway. Again, though, Anderson probably trying to run it toward the top side instead of getting on the bottom lane there. Hughes with a 23.76. I'll set the marker up again. Final time for Anderson is going to be a 23.82, so not an extremely fast time. If you count what Blake Trawick's doing right now, 23.69. And completely different strategies here. No surprise there. Hughes said at 23.76. That time will stand as the second fastest. Trawick's time on his second lap, 23.72. That will put him in the second spot now. It's Paulson on 23.65. He has now set the marker. Ty Maraska right now looking to try to come back from a little bit of a departure. Now sending for a time here. His second time. It's going to be a 23.78. So not quite fast as 23.73. They'll put him somewhere in the top 5 bracket, maybe top 10 in the worst case scenario. Koiko now on the line here, going to give himself his first time. Gulf Loyals number 9 coming off that victory back at Atlanta Super Speedway / Motor Speedway. Looking to try to take one on home for this day around. Round him out down on turn number 3 and 4. Koiko looking at a time. It'll be 23.89. Now he heads down the old rusty bumps. So you're probably wondering, what am I talking about down there? Well, just like Charlotte Motor Speedway with the Humpy's bumps or Wheeler's bumps back in the back straightaway. Old rusty bump has that little corner there where it actually kind of gets a little bit bumpier and a little bit harder to keep the car on line. And they call it Rusty's bumps because the track builder and designer is the owner, Rusty Wallace, created this track. So they nicknamed it after him. Same thing with like Humpy Wheeler. That's why they call it the old rusty bumps. Tim Williams, the 485, going to set his time off the front straightaway, and it will be a 23.89, a 23.85, his fastest, 20.3.93 for the original mark. Well, here he goes. I think this is the driver everybody was waiting to see where he set the time at. Paulson knows he's fast. Treywick, Marasco, Hughes, Holloway, they know what he can do. The Rattlesnake is on the clock. And I got word as well, there's a brand new piece of tech that Quality Car Ford Credit 88 Robert Kahn is going to be working with in due time. Not going to say what, but it could be a dangerous machine that could really give him quite a bit of an obligation to really take these drivers to the limits. Let's see how that plays out. His first time though, 23.73. He ramps the outside line up. Still not quite Derek Paulson's lap though. He's going to need to get something cleared up here. Looks like he might have clipped the wall coming off turn number 2 there. A little bit higher than the rusty bump corner, so it looks like he just got a little too aggressive. Let's see if this lap counts, and it will indeed. It did not hit the wall, but it's going to be just 200th of a second short of the fastest time. Derek Paulson remains on top. Now onto the track with the 5 and the 31, Todd Poston. Todd Poston right now getting out of pit road. Let's see what he can get up to the table here as we look on. Robert Van Ness says, beware of the rattlesnake and hiss, hiss. Well, whatever you want to go by there, Robert, I'll say, I mean, he's going to be tough. He's going to be one of those drivers you got to watch out for no matter where you look at from. Off of turn number 4, though, for the final time for the 5 Chantel Pottle. Car stays straight, and time will be a 23.83 twice. So that will be her second time. Poston's first time, 23.90. And this is the guy that's been in the victory lane on this very same track before. But not in an ARCA car, but rather the Super Late models. And it looks like this might not be a better time. He got a little bit tight and loose off of turn number 1 and 2. 3 and 4, no better. Definitely a bit of an adjustment he's going to have to get used to for that Super Late model. Because this ARCA car, did not quite agree with him. Still about 4 minutes left on the clock here, so drivers right now probably just getting pressured up and just settling their minds up, getting prepared for what is about to come here. Obviously a lot of focus, a lot of drive it takes just to even get these cars dialed in and get so focused up and ready to race. Many drivers for which also can get quite a bit of a stir, a little bit of a spot burrowed up. But nevertheless, plenty of time to drive and plenty of time to see what goes down on the track. As we take a look at our Lightning Wrapz Track Tech Talk. This one again, Iowa Speedway. I've kind of made it obvious, but I know this track quite well. This is my home track for asphalt-wise anyway. It's about an hour. It's only just under an hour away from me actually. So, what the biggest thing I can tell you about this track though is that the bumps. The corner 1 and 2 got those nasty little clips in the bumps. So watch for the tires on fresh starts to be really digging in and trying to back off. They're going to be slipping and sliding around there if they do not get the tires warmed up. Turn 3 and 4, bit of an obstacle course. You got two ideas. You can go high side where most drivers will try to do in qualifying. You'll burn your tires up though, but there is a smoother plane up there. Or you can take the extremely aggressive route and keep your passing opportunities on that bottom lane. It is a multi-groove track. It's a short track, but it's multi-grooved and wide open for slide jobs and a few little pesky turns and corners and spills and thrills and spills and chills to that match only here at the Iowa Speedway. 2 minutes left on the clock here for the drivers right now. Derek Paulson looks like he is all but set the fastest time today. An interesting time to say the least here, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, you can say a fast time all you want. You got to still win the race by being in victory lane. So that's going to be his toughest challenge, in my opinion. Con, I think his toughest challenge is going to be just make sure he watches tire wear, watches how the race manipulates the car through. I think him and Treywick and Holloway are masters of that. But I think right now with the way Hughes and Marasco put their numbs up, I think they're going to be really patient and more careful about when and where they make their moves and try to make their marks just to try to outrun Paulson and Kahn on the long run. But again, 120 laps the distance. It got roughly about 45-50 laps in the fuel tank. Not going to be the easiest race to say the least. So I'm interested to see how that kind of stacks up for these guys. And yes, I did actually take a car out there with the fuel limit and see what it would be like. And I can tell you right now, that car heading around the old rusty bumps and that old tough turns on tire wear, man, it is absolutely brutal. I will tell you that right now. It is a brutal fight there, to say the least. So you'll be not only fighting the car, you'll be fighting your steering, you'll be fighting the pedals. They'll probably get a little bit more annoyed at you as you go along. You'll be slowing up more and you'll be trying to think, how can I get any faster? But really, it's just because you're wearing and tearing this track out. It's a driver's track, and it's going to be a complete obstacle for even the best to narrow down and figure out. That's what is going to be the big target, the big spot here on this racing. So as we get down to about 30 seconds left on the clock, it is just about that time, ladies and gentlemen, here. But as you know, we don't just settle for anything less. It is time to put the time board away for a minute. It's time to put the mics down for just a second. Let's head it down to intros for the Pit Stall Racing Series. Time for the Pit Stall Racing Series. So the time has come indeed, race fans. Let's take a look at our starting lineup presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing. This is the lineup. Derek Paulson sets the fastest time. The unprecedented rattlesnake will be in second on his outside. Row number 2, Blake Treywick, the 56 to be outside of him as the 1 is Ty Barrasco. And row 3, Frank Hughes will pilot the 61 with the outside and the 21, Daniel Holloway. Row number 4 is going to be the 84 of Len McNeese, but his outside in the big 18, Bobby Anderson. Row number 5 on the throttle, Chantel Pottle, and the 5, the outside, the 45, Tim Williams. Row 6 says Double O, Gordon Larson Jr. on the outside of the 9, it is going to be Corey Coe. Row number 7 is the 31 of Todd Post on the outside, and the 6, Eric Blount. Row 8 in the 13, Douglas R. Johnson. On the outside is the 93, Jason Wall. Row number 9 is going to be the 3 of Michael Pratt on the outside. And the 92, Michael Lee Campbell. And finally, row 10, the 47 is Ray Radford with Harrison Chandler in the 29. Alright, race fans, this time at last. Time for the excitement to brew. Time for the craziness to stew. It is absolutely a beautiful day here in Newton, Iowa. You know what the funny thing is? Literally, this actually matches about what it's like right here in Iowa right now. So, go figure. Somehow, the pit stall actually managed to get real life and the sim world to match up. Who would have thought? So here we go, presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing and Lighting Wrapz. This is your showcase today. 20 drivers coming to the stage. Jason Wall and Harrison Chandler right now with mechanical problems. Can't quite get the car up to stuff and get it up to par, so it looks like he may not be able to make it up to the track today. Unfortunate break for both drivers there, but 18 still ready to fire off and fire quick. You can see everybody right now pressuring their tires, trying to get some heat underneath them. They don't want to get too worn and tore out. They need to make sure these things are ready to go. Ready to go, ready to fight, ready to strive, ready to conquer. That is the name of the game. Tim Lee, the professor, says good luck out there. Tim Lee, thanks so much for your time. You did it, bud. Professor could not make it to the show, so he let the boys and the girls go out and have fun. They are in charge of this one, but they will be regulated still by the race control. Race control keeping a close eye on everybody as we flag them down through turn number 3 to turn number 4. The 06 MF Racing Design to Derek Paulson and the 88 Quality Care for credit. Robert Kahn gonna send them down their way. Green flag is out. 18 gonna go at it. Here we go. Through the bumps, through the corners, and through the side skirts, down to the trackside. Every driver for themselves. Mix it up, 3 wide, down through turn number 3 and 4. Clear the gap. Hughes trying to stay right in between there. Treywick moving up a spot, thanks to Kahn giving him the opening. The 5 Chantel throttle paddle moving a little bit through the gaps as well. Anderson giving her an opening and moves it right in between. Len McNeese now right up top side. Looking to try to dip the bottom and use the corner to her advantage. So far, so good. This is how difficult it is right now for these drivers. They're currently trying to face off at any kind of run, any kind of turn they can hit up. They're watching for that right front tire wear and the burn off sections. They're trying to make sure they don't get too crazy, too out of control with the corners, and making sure they can just keep that right front from digging in too badly. If they get that thing to burn up too quickly, it now becomes a dump truck just even trying to hold on to. That's the last thing you want on this car, and especially this track. You know, we talk about throttle rhythm and RPMs quite a bit here on the show, but listen to the rhythm the Derek Paulson's right now, and you notice how smooth he came off, and notice how smooth he drove it back down. There is this old saying, drive like you got an egg underneath your throttle pedal. That is exactly what they're doing right now. They're driving like there's an egg underneath that throttle pedal. They're trying not to squish it, so the only way to do that is to be very gentle and kind to it. To be very smooth and enriching. It's an old saying we've always used in the oval racing scene, especially on iRacing, because really what that does is it teaches you throttle control, throttle rhythm, and throttle power, not getting too excessive and just slamming the thing down to the T. Rather, it's more conducive to the kind of racing these guys are going at right now, and staying very focused on that overall position. That's some great battles mixing in too. Todd Bosten trying to march his way back up to the top side. He's 3 spots up. Hard charger right now. He's trying to make a bit of amends for what happened earlier in a qualifying run. And right now, not doing too shabby, going head to head against Len McNeese and Tim Williams. Straddling back down through the outside line, looking for a little bit of runoff on Tim Williams. Still no give, no go. You know, crazy to believe too that that little intro package we got for you guys earlier, that was actually from this track. So it's kind of crazy to see how things have full circled here. Uh-oh, trouble down there, trouble. Looks like problems for Todd Bosten. Looks like maybe he might have got a little too aggressive down there for his own good. First caution of the day, as the Toyota Camry ARC car. Well, Todd Bosten here goes for the early trouble. Set up by forward screen printing. Here's the instant replay. And look at this. These two jamming it. Whoa! Chantel Bottle catching the 31 off guard there by a bit. I'm not sure. Maybe that was just a bit of an accident on her end, or maybe she didn't realize like what was going down till it's too little too late. We'll take the onboard shot with her though. Looked like Tim got caught up there with Todd. Looked like Todd and him kind of locked up in the corner. You can see right there, they're locked up. I don't think Chantel was expecting them to actually get breaking free like that. But again, with that car, it's easy to slow them up pretty badly, and it looked like Todd had nowhere to go. Massive damage on the left front nose of these 5, though. It's definitely not going to be solved quickly. I think she's probably going to try to clear that damage up quicker and not use the fast repair yet. Remember, you only get one instant repair in these races, so you don't want to use it up early if you don't have to. Just get the damage cleaned up and go from there. But Todd Post definitely can't be too happy about that one. Kathleen Carver says, hashtag Team Rattlesnake, and hey Chris. Hey Kathleen, how's it going out there today? So Pileston, despite having the little spin around there, didn't seem to take too much damage on the rear underside of that carriage. So it looks like it'll be okay to continue on here and fight back a little more. So the field double filed back in yet again. We're going to get them rallied up and squared up at the track. Very interesting situation and circumstances there. Todd gets the rear shaft and ends up staying at least in the spot he wants to be in, thanks to everybody going to pit road. So I think honestly he's got a bit of a different strategy compared to everybody else right now. Let's see how that fares for him though. Running it back down off of turn number 3 to turn number 4 here. Daniel Holloway leads us back to the green flag here. Firing back down and firing back up. Let's get to it again, race fans. Green flag back in the air. We are but just a mere 1/10 of the way there. Sending him back down to the back straightaway here. Treywick immediately looking on. Todd Boson looking to try to stay out of trouble though. Bazema just probably try not to lock up with a left front or left rear of any driver here, or right rear, whatever he got locked on. He locked that left front up with the right rear of the car. I know that much. So now I gotta explain that a bit better. Douglas R. Johnson, here's another driver that's very, very keen and patient on saving his equipment, saving his stuff up, and paying very close attention to the runs he caters and the runs he corners for. Looking to try to settle him down off the turn, settle him down to the corners here. Treywick down in the bottom lane there, looking for the pass sign posted, and it's successful. The number 56 again using his expertise and using his dilemma to give a crossover, a bit of a slide job. At the 31, when that's when you go to the you go from top to bottom, back to top as soon as you can. Works a lot better in dirt racing, but again, I'd say this track's about as close as they come to an actual dirt racing facility without the dirt. Very high banked and very pressurized kind of race. Again, it does drive a lot of drivers will say it drives a little bit like Richmond, but you know, every time I race Richmond, I just don't really fully feel that way, other than kind of turn 1 and 2. But I have that banking in the back that really sets it up, so then I think turn 3 and 4 is just kind of like an extra little go-to. Richmond, again, used to be an extremely well-beloved track, beloved racing surface, but it's getting a lot harder these days. Except for it seems like this last race to really make amends with that and see what kind of pressure it can put up. And of course, Iowa Speedway did not get the same results there from NASCAR, so, but that's alright. I hope that will change one day. Little onboard camera here from Bobby Anderson. It's Todd Boaston getting a little bit squirrely. This is what happens to the driver you got to focus on now, is now whether or not to make that move or make that mark off on somebody. But you can just see right there, look at how much wheel Anderson is having to use just to hold that thing on line. This is what I talked about earlier. This is how difficult this ARCA car is in terms of consistency and control. You got a driver that is as bad as talented as they come with Bobby Anderson and Robert Kahn, and they're having to hold these bad boys down as much as possible. This car forces and torches each driver to make proper working adjustments and proper working moves. You have to work around and figure out from then on out the very tough dilemma. I say Anderson and Kahn specifically because I've gone head to head with them multiple times. If you kind of haven't already seen, I've even gone ahead with Anderson a few times back from Richmond to Lanier. And man, I tell you, they are absolutely troublesome to deal with. And Kahn, I don't even need to say anything about him. He's already got my number on a few things, and I've honestly got his number only on a few tracks. Kind of hard to really beat him out, much to say anything bad about him on that front. He can just race the heck out of it. Another onboard shot here with Daniel Holloway right now. As you see Derek Paulson, the 06, trying to find a way to intervene on him. But it seems as though Holloway right now trying to be the candy man to his little sweet ride. While Treywick continues to fight Halson a little bit. And it seems like now drivers are starting to migrate a little higher from the high bank and a little more towards the middle groove and towards the bottom lane. Multi-groove, multi-runs. The track changes too. You got to remember, progressive cornering, progressive turns, and progressive angles really forces everybody to make proper working adjustments. That's one thing I love about Iowa, man, is it continues to evolve and adapt. The more you go along with this race, sometimes you'll find that run back and behind the back of the pack. Sometimes you'll find that run from the front of the pack. Of course, we've always been told too about the changes coming from iRacing with the as they call it, a bit of a asphalt refresh. That is basically what the dirt refresh is coming here in literally 1 month, and if you haven't already guessed, I'm more excited for that than anything, although I am very excited to see what the asphalt refresh does. I just can't live without my dirt racing though, guys, you know that. So I definitely can't wait to see what they can bring up to the table there. But right now, speaking of the tables may have turned for Daniel Holloway. Derek Paulson putting his Ford Mustang up into the fight as Holloway tries to hold him off. Had it in there through 1 and 2 just a little bit. Then 3 and 4 lost a little bit of that ground. Holloway still fighting. But the more he fights, the more he's letting other drivers catch up in between him. Frank Hughes, Blake Treywick, certainly one of them. Look at this, Chevy, Ford, and Dodge all in the 3 stables. When the 3 cars were once at peace with one another, the 3 manufacturers worked well together. Maybe get a little bit of that old nostalgia back on this end here. Frank Hughes and number 61 here also kind of hanging in there a bit. Still trying to look for an opening or some kind of opportunity to really strike while the iron's hot here, but again, it's looking very, very difficult in to really catch that break, catch that move. Considering how tight each corner is and how tight each run is becoming. Paulson looked like he might have had a chance there, but he just decided to back off. Again, he's trying to push the car as hard as he can. Oh, but not that hard though. Gone also even in the wall. And there's a big opening there. There he goes. Holloway opened the door like a thief in the night. He wants to sneak in right through to the main sector, which is the jewelry, which is what he wants. He wants the jewels. He wants the crown. Well, he is going to have to be the heavy on the head because he's taking Holloway down to a T. Holloway backing down into pit road. He'll have to take some tires and some fuel, looks like. Todd Poston also joining him in. Your new leader is the number 06, Derek Paulson, the fastest qualifier, back on top. For how long that'll last, though, is all on him. Len McNeese now in the top 5 with a mad suit of drivers right behind him. Every driver for themselves right now, and that is a madhouse coming through. Look at Marasco. Looked almost like he was open for the gap. He decided to not take it. Holloway and Poston right now, a lap down, looking to try to get it back here. Whoa, a little clip up there from Anderson to Corey Coe, and now Coe jumping into the gap here. Here comes Gulf Oil number 9. Remember what he said earlier. He said flat out, I don't think this track will really be anything like what I've got with Atlanta. Atlanta's turned so much different than this place. And now I have to kind of figure out how to manipulate and map it out. Knowing also that getting away from us, from that draft package, is what he's doing here. Pretty wide. Entering through the chute. Looking for the outside line. Both drivers hanging in there. Oh my. This is where things get complicated though. Marasco having to back it out. Anderson sliding, dropping it up. Sliding it right back on the outside, looking for the run. Marasco right behind him. That's just some excellent racing right now from these drivers. This is truly what tests the driver's limits and their patience, which is can they hang on and control their own nerves, especially when you got situations like that. You want to make the best moves and the quickest moves you can, but again, as drivers, you still don't want to tear up your equipment or someone else's unless you absolutely have no choice. And you got to throw the Hail Mary attempt at him. Marasco looked like he was going to do that, but he gets trapped on the outside wall. That outside wall feels like super glue here, man. I know they're running with the safer barriers and everything, but that does not mean anything with this car. I'm telling you that right now. That car is useless when it terms of just trying to get off that wall. Oh, and taking a bit of a bump to him. It's where Tim Williams gets Bob Anderson down through 3 and 4. We've got a caution. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't think Bobby expected to take the hit and run from that one, but unfortunately, there's not much he can do. Another look at it. Backed off a lot, trying not to hit Marasco. Williams didn't quite see it that way. And the next thing you know, just takes the indicative spot of that nasty, nasty little hit. We'll take one more look at it. So you can see Tim was trying to back off a little bit there, but unfortunately can't quite narrow it down that much, especially with this car. There's a reason why they gave him the old nickname Arca Brakes a long time ago. I think that might be one of them. Falls down to pit road first. Todd Poston right now gonna wait for his lap back. Daniel Holloway already succumbing his lap back. He's got himself some fresh rubber and some fresh tire and fuel on the mark. Certainly will help his cost in this case out a bit. Posting after that first wreck. Unfortunately, got himself in a bit of a bind, a bit of a troublesome situation. Now seeing what everyone else brings to the table and whether or not they will be able to succeed where they all have failed in some regards. So the field right now currently progressing through, trying to get settled back down. Obviously a lot of drivers too, probably looking at the overall dilemma and the situation. Seeing what they can bring to the table, what they can dial in, back down a few tanks and a few positions. And run it out from there. Riding right back down and on around, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it is. Let's put that pedal to the metal back to the ground and into the track side. Iowa Speedway ready for it here. We're ready for it. Back in the green flags, shooting them out. It is back to the action. Derek Paulson will lead them down as they start them back up. And there it is. There's the old rusty bump I was talking about earlier. Notice how Frank Hughes and Marasco, they got that front end lifted right up. That's old rusty bump there. That's that corner of turn 2. Gets the drivers a little bit out of shape, out of hand, and it can also get a few of them a little bit weary on the turn. That rear end kicking out a lot underneath these drivers and forcing their hand a bit. They center themselves back a few pegs. Just 1/3 of the way done so far. Still plenty of racing to go though, and plenty of shootouts and knockouts to go with it. Gordon Larson Jr. seeming to make his way back through the pack a little bit here. He's currently in the 8th spot, trying to hold his line down a little bit with Corey Coe and Robert Nicon. Len McNeese also in that mix. And again, Len McNeese definitely going to be a driver to watch out for in my case, anyway. Because really, it seems like he knows a thing or two about how to run these short tracks in a bit and really kind of figuring out where and when to attack when the iron's hot. Whereas guys like Con and them, they seem to strike whenever they feel like it. You know, without merit though, I mean, these drivers all have a very distinguishable race style. They all have a distinguishable background on how to make the right adjustments, to make the right moves. The rest is on whether or not they can hit their corners and hit their marks and really stabilize the car up when they need it to. Derek Paul's continuing to deliver the goods, continuing to try to get himself up ahead of this whole field. Our little shoot off there from turn number 4. Hughes trying to stick with Treywick and Morosco. Still looking for his first win of the season. A disastrous Kansas finish there cost him dearly, and really also kind of set himself back mentally in a lot of ways, other race configurations. He said to me earlier today, I just hope that I have kind of figured out a way to control my inner demons and learn how to continue myself. If I can better myself on the track, I'll be much harder to take down. And that seems to be his goal and objective. Always seems to be hanging around that top 5, and he always seems to be in that podium position, but he's never been able to put everything together. Finally chop it off to a win. Corey Coe and Len McGee's going at it right now here as we are going to present to you their fastest lap time presented by Lightning Wrapz here. Daniel Ross Porter Jr. also asking who has the fastest lap so far. Well, the fastest lap so far seems to be a 23.94, and that was set by a guy by the name of Daniel Holloway in the 21. And now actually got shot out a little bit. Bobby Anderson just hit a 23.90, so that is now number 1 spot. Hold on down there. Corey Coe getting a little rub in his racing from Douglas R. Johnson. Johnson just getting him put out of the way. Almost looked like he booted him out of here. I don't know if that, he's going to be very, I don't know if Corey's going to be very appreciative of that one there, my friend. But yeah, right now, looking at my times, a 23.90 is the fastest time from what I'm seeing. Maybe you guys see something differently, but Anderson got the number 1 time so far. With the rest of the field just hot on the trail. Oh, and maybe hot in the wall too. Caution's out. Oh my. Well, Daniel Holloway and Tim Williams definitely going to have something to talk about here. Nasty, nasty situation there for the 45 and for the 21 down there, and a huge hit off the corner wall. Tim involved in a couple wrecks today. Now gets himself into another one. Looked like Douglas was trying to get a turn in, and then Williams drove right up into him. And Holloway, I don't even know what the heck happened to the 21 there, but yikes. Go look back at that camera in a minute there on his head, but let's take a look at this again. Williams is out of the race, by the way. He's calling it a night. Or calling it a day, I should say. Who's going to look at it? Yeah, Tim Williams was going for the corner. He probably didn't see where Williams was at, and then that happened, and then all of a sudden Holloway, I don't even know what happened to him. Completely threw me for a loop there on what exactly transpired for his case. Well, we had a camera on him. Let's see if we can see here. You can see on the far left of your screen, this is what happened there to him. And, oh, right there, bam! Yeah, Douglas R. Johnson got 2 for the price of 1 there, unfortunately. Both of them were not planned by any means, but unfortunately, that is still a nasty little situation. He was given the ill will for that situation, so that's going to put him back in the pack yet again, so we'll see how he handles it from there. A tough situation for everybody involved in a very nasty little hit. We'll push these drivers back on back a little bit. Jerry Johnson saying, whoops. I don't know. That was probably a big oops, if I had to say. So now doubled up yet again here. Treywick will lead him out with Anderson on the outside. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on this go. No limits to give and everything to give out on this end now. Let's see what happens. Still plenty of racing to be had and still plenty of battles to go with it. Off the distance here, corner number 4 here, race fans. We bring them back to the green flag restart zone. And we're off and running yet again. Let's tighten them buckles down and get to shooting, boys. Let's get to the race. Treywick's had a hand in playing in some very tough little spots before. But he's going to have to try to go against Morosco and Paulson. Frank Hughes a little bit loose from the corner and still struggling to hold it on. Anderson sticking right up there with it here as got one mowing the grass down in turn 4, the front straightaway. They'll throw off Chantel Pottle. Trying to open up her own lawn care service. Unfortunately, that's not how that car is supposed to work down there. Thankfully, she's okay, returning to the track and now looking to try to get back into the pace here, but it's going to be a long road for her now, considering what just happened there. Paulson getting around Treywick. We got a new leader as Morosco right now. Works well and working quick. Picking up the pace and picking up the drive right now off to the corners here, and there's problems down there for Frank Hughes. Unfortunately, there's problems indeed. Gordon Larson Jr. off the track as well. The 00 off pace. So we're now halfway done with this race. Take a look at the replay here and see what happened. Michael E. Campbell looks like he just got a little bit loose off that turn. Catches the 00 off guard. That was the second issue, I believe. Hughes counted himself in a bit of another issue. Oh yeah, he definitely did. Let's take a look at this. This is what happened to Hughes. This did not bring out the caution, by the way. This is what I was talking about down there. Caught off the corner there and stayed out of the way. The drivers were able to continue on, but unfortunately Hughes, not so fortunate. Now a very big decision coming up here for these drivers. Treywick looks like he will lead the group down for a set of pit stops. So the field right now just kind of gets squared back up with the track. And mainly with themselves too. I mean, there's a lot of things going on between these drivers, between these guys' minds. Certainly put a lot of them up to the task and put them up to the challenge. That will get everyone squared into a very interesting dilemma. Let's see how everyone fares from there. So double filing back up now onto the track here, ladies and gentlemen. No means to lose out on this one. Let's square them back up here, race fans. Double up, stacked up, racked up, and put them back on the attack. Let's get back here at Iowa Speedway. Green flag restart zone. Here we go. Main drivers right now having to fight through 3 wide and double end side of the tracks here. Blount, oh boy, into the wall. Bottle avoiding it. There's one thing that's going to be hard here too is to make passes when those tires start to give out a bit. Going to force a lot of drivers to have to make crucial, decisive decisions. And they're getting very, very clean on that. They're really having a hard time deciphering what to do with it. Douglas R. Johnson right now hanging up in the top 5 background here. Might be trying to make a little bit of a run for it. Oh, there's a rivalry I don't think we're expecting to see too much today. S rivalry, honestly, kind of burrowing from Kansas. And a caution's out before we can get even too far into it. Trouble for Michael E. Campbell, the 92. Douglas R. Johnson also with mechanical issues down there, and it looks like he was involved in that situation. So we'll go to the instant replay and see what exactly transpired here. Look like it mainly falls on Douglas here, so see if we can get a look here. Yeah, you can see right here the car is loose, and then she's gone. Oh, and Chantel Bottle, man, just drammed into that one. Oh my goodness. Now, thankfully, Douglas is out of the car and he's okay, but probably a little bit more infuriated than anything, if I had to guess. Some more camera angles for this. This is the chopper cam that caught the first part of it, and then wham! Chantel Bottle digged in there with a double O of Gordon Larson Jr. At that point, I think, honestly, he had a locked throttle. I mean, there was really nothing else he could do at that point. I mean, what else really could he have done at that point? Once the car is gone, the car is gone, so. So you should tell, just expecting the car to go up top and just really stop right in front of her. I mean, really nothing else she could really do. Not a whole lot can be done at that point, and unfortunately, that was the case there. So, Paulson and Kahn right now, currently, signing themselves back up on the track and back into the pace here. Whew, alright, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, here we're hopefully getting a little bit more relaxed up. The lights have flickered off on the pace car now, so we're going to get everyone back into their drive here. And if you can tell, that repair was used on the 5 Chantel final model, so that now we'll put her with no instant repairs left. Whatever damage she got cleaned up and fixed up earlier kind of became pointless now. But nevertheless, Kahn, Paulson, Morasco, Hughes, and Anderson, you're at top 5 in this one, with a lot of drivers right now just trying not to sink or swim at this point. Douglas R. Johnson can't be too thrilled about his day, neither can many of the others that have fallen victim to the mayhem and the craziness that is Iowa Speedway sometimes. Nevertheless, though, we still have some racing to go. From corner number 4, green flag back out. I do apologize in advance if I go a little quiet sometimes too, especially under cautions. I'm currently nursing a bit of a sore throat here. Nothing, anything on broadcast or anything like that. It's just the weather change and all that. It's just a little hot for my taste buds. So I apologize in advance there, but nevertheless, gonna just get them squared up here through turn number 3 and 4. The rattlesnake falling back. Morasco takes control of that second spot now, looking to get up ahead of his teammate. 3 wide down through the corners and sectors here. And Chantel, hold on. Oh boy, hang on, watch out. Oh no, that's trouble, and she's out. That 5 car has not had a pleasant day, I will say that. Iowa has not treated her well, and that's kind of surprising. Usually she's pretty decent here on this track. But this ARC car is not an easy car to figure out here. like Treywick and Corey Coe right now figuring it out with Anderson right behind. Starting to stabilize him back down a bit here and starting to get him driving back right through the corners here. Eric Blount. We're going to try to sneak his way through and hold down the line. Oh, that's going to be trouble for him. Gives the opening to old Anderson, and now the Anderson boys are currently looking to try to take a little bit more of this runoff from him. Blount scratching the wall in the Viagra number 6 Taurus here, not giving him much room to work with now. Derek Paulson and Ty Marasco just jumping further and further ahead. It looks to me like that right front tire now has absolutely, and I mean tremendously, taken the worst possible beating and now the worst possible punishment it can ask for. I think at this point, these drivers are now working off with steams and fuel. And hoping with whatever air pressure they have left in the car, it don't come back to haunt them. But it's crazy to me just to see how many different lines and different areas these drivers are using. Most of them are trying to stay towards the top side, but then like the leaders, they'll jump to the bottom in one corner and they'll use the top side in another. Not uncommon practice here, obviously, but just something I've noticed here. It looks to me like Paulson's actually kind of staying away from the extreme outside line and letting Marasco kind of falter back in, and actually I think it's kind of helping him a little bit. With 40 laps to go, though, I mean, it's really anybody's case, anybody's guess on who can get to the front quicker than the other. Frank Hughes right now getting a little bit clambered in here. He's looking to try to hold the middle line down with Con right below him on the bottom and Treywick on the top side. 3 wide just for a brief fleeting moment there on turn 4. Treywick a little bit more oomph under that hood. And no, I'm not talking the oomph from Roblox. I'm talking some oomph that you need to get that part kicking and that jump parts are racing. Glenn McNeese, Gordon Larson Jr. also kind of pulsing down. Although Gordon Larson Jr., you can see the track starting to get the better of him too. The Pepsi Cola Double O getting a little bit loosey-goosey and a little bit troublesome into the turns. Can't quite hold it down. They are struggling right now to kind of keep these things under control and to struggle to keep them out of troublesome spots here. This is the thing they're going to have to keep worrying about here. Is the longer they go, the longer it becomes to deal with the wear and tear of the tires. And then also having to find opportunities just to make proper passes from. They have to be extremely patient or they have to be very careful on the maneuvering. And it looks like Marasco has had enough waiting, but Treywick also in that hunt. Mixing it up on the bottom now in the middle screwed. It is going to be Treywick and Juning to the lead. Tuning up the band and tuning up the drive. This is where it gets interesting. Marasco definitely trying to get some grip on the bottom. The outside is just where it's at, though. Maybe trying to save a little bit more tire than Treywick, though. Paulson right in between now into that mix. Coming for the corners. Some great back and forth, but it looks like Treywick is now ready to hit the kill switch. Pounding it right down around. Through the corner now, entering into the corner shot. Looking for a huge run. And he's got a lock on it. Paulson trying to hold it down. Some hard racing for that race lead as both guys seemingly are dead even off each turn. Prod Treywick right now as he's not able to get the outside line to shift up as quick as he wants in 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 especially where he needs it to. It's hurting him. For Paulson, though, he's got a horrible entry, but an extremely good exit to use off of Treywick. That's what's giving him so much more help and leeway. And having Marasco behind you as well probably doesn't hurt too much. Time running out, and now they're really getting closer together here. Treywick making a huge run there for Paulson, but unfortunately may have used up a little bit more than I think he needed to. Cost himself plenty of time here. Here comes the old rattlesnake. Beware of the snake, as they say. Well, beware the snake is right, but unfortunately for Khan, he's going to have to park it down at pit road and get himself squared back up. Not quite going to be a perfect dilemma or a perfect run there for him. He's going to hold her in back just a little bit. Meanwhile, in the back of the pack, everybody right now holding their runs down, trying to hold down the power. Eric Bond kind of slowing the back a bit here, just trying to keep him under pressure. And Len McNeese going for a Hail Mary slide job city coming up. That wasn't a very good one though. Oh my. And that's trouble. That's trouble. Todd Post is in the wall. And we got a caution. Oh my goodness. Gamer struggling just to get around to that there. Unfortunately there, that will cost them some time. Take a look at the replay here and see what exactly transpired there, and it looked like it was just a hard racing opportunity for many of them, but I think what it was down to was really the fact Len McNeese threw a slide job. Both were not prepared for it. Todd Poston getting into the 9, trying to square himself back up and just taking for a wild little ride there. There isn't a whole lot he could really do about it either. I mean, really, what was he going to be able to do about it once it happened? Just a bad, bad situation, unfortunately, and there's not a whole lot he can do about it. Treywick gonna head back out immediately and hope for the best here. He's gone in with only a fuel mileage on the tire, no tires changed. Derek Paulson, Eric Blount, and all them below. Changing out the tires, changing out their strategies here. Treywick definitely going to have his hands full. Thankfully, he's got another guy in Daniel Holloway that pretty much got out the same idea. So, could possibly play out in their favor. Who knows? It's all about who can strive above the breast. So about 24 to 23 laps left to go. These drivers right now, man, they've got to be fuming and hurting a little bit just from absolute wear and tear on the cars themselves, and their mentalities as well. I gotta feel they probably do not have any idea what is going on, or really at this point, or how to really handle themselves. I think at this point, just really take control of themselves here and hope for the best. Here we go now, rolling back up and firing back down. Green flag is out in the air again. Now the question repeats, when, where will they make the next move? Ooh, and maybe making the next mistake too. Riding them right out down to the turn, into the corners. Each driver right now just trying to hold on. Coming off the corner, looks like Gordon Larson Jr. is just barely able to keep that thing straight. I think at this point these guys are currently just holding on by a thread, it looks like. It's hard to even just get that car to stay stable, let alone just to even watch out for what they're doing. And yeah, here they are trying to hold through this hunk of junk thing around like it's a dump truck on a flatbed. It's easier said than done in the way I'm looking at. 3 wide down through turn number 4. Oh, not again! Same situation, same drivers! Coe and Poston slapped in, no caution, they're still green. Poston once again getting in front of Corey Coe, and yeah, the caution does fly out there. Well, oh boy, alright, let's take a look at this one once again, race fans, and, well, put it nicely, it was kind of hard to tell what exactly transpired until we got to the end scene of it. It looks to me like Poston, yeah, there you go, drifted up a little bit too much, and Coe had nowhere to go. How the heck Michael had able to avoid that one there is beyond me, but that 92. But Mike Lee Campbell deserves to catch himself a break there and consider himself lucky considering how tough that one was. Man, just absolutely hard racing in some tough little situations here to even be able to hold on down to. Well, we gotta strap back up a bit and then see what we can do from here, guys. A lot of hard moments in between and some very tough situations to be matching up with. We're going to ring him back in and ring him off to the track here. See what they can do. "14 laps left to go here at Iowa Speedway. A long, long road. Full of challenging circumstances and even more tougher than lots of nails around these parts of town. Who will survive and who will conquer above it all? We're about to find out. Well, Derek Paulson just left this entire field. Oh! And speaking of leaving the field up a bit, Eric Brown catching a little bit of Michael Pratt there off the corner. Pratt made to save it. But being able to save it is one thing. Catching back up is another. Gordon Larson Jr. trying to catch back up there to Derek Paulson. Doesn't have a whole lot of laps remaining, and he knows it too. The drivers right now at this point are putting these things on kill switch. Coming right around, Len McNeese, a little bit loose off there, number 4. Trouble for him, and now sending back a bit more. Treywick and Anderson making their way around as Con tries to get something dialed up again. Some numbers probably weren't expecting to see, and some names we probably weren't expecting to see. But nevertheless, chances running high, opportunities running up a bit. Gordon Larson Jr. looked like he was getting a little bit of extra kick, a little bit extra power there to get to Paulson, but now seems to have lost that momentum. Doubled in now, 10 laps remain. And that 10 to go means we could be expecting anything at this point. Who knows what's to expect? Who knows what's coming next? Frank Hughes right now knows what he wants to expect, though, and that's a chance to go at it for second. 3 wide down the Schmicks, though. Treywick, my word, he's pushing the gas and pushing some limits here. So, no surprise, obviously, but I mean, he's just absolutely taking some big risks here, considering what everyone else has been doing most of the day today. Looking to try to reel them back in, try to feel the track out a bit. Look at them coming off turn number 4. They're going to be all striding out. Striking hard, driving fast, driving quick, learning for the guests and looking for the gaps. Treywick losing some ground up there to Hughes, and it looks like Hughes moving in a second thanks to him there. Gordon Larson Jr., nothing he can do about it. And there's problems down there. There is problems. Caution's out here on the track. I think Eric Blount may have been the one that started it. I think he got into the wall protection there, and I think they called the caution on that. Not completely sure why caution was called if that was just the case, though. Seems a bit kind of off-putting to put it in that situation, but we'll take a look at the replay. Oh, that's why. Marasco, yep. But Blount got that thing fired right back up quickly, and it looked like he was getting something figured out there, but wasn't quite the situation there. We'll take one more look at it here and see if maybe that was just timing error or what happened. Well, it looked to me like, yeah, well, there you go. Marasco, he didn't exactly come out clean of it anyway. But it looked to me like he was trying to make a pass, and then Blount kind of cut him back down and kind of cut off that corner. And then that's where all that troublesome spot happened. Blount's in pit road trying to get a cleared up car. He had one insert pair of lefts, and he's going to use it. Yeah, the only one he could use. Well, not quite green-white checker territory yet, I don't think. I think we'll still have 3 laps to go. Coming to the line. Looks like we will be left with... Yeah, it seems as though we're going to be left with a green-white checkered attempt, actually, so... Thought we were going to have 3 laps to go. Not quite going to be that, so it is a green-white checkered attempt coming up. That means there'll be 2 laps left in the line. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, off the final corners here. Top 5 on your screen. Somebody's taking this win out to the ballpark here, but who will it be? Out of the green flag, the restart zone. Paulson with the slight advantage off the restart. Oh no, not again. No, hold on, Gordon. No, oh my, oh my, oh! Ty Marasco going for a violent ride, and he still gets Blount in the corner off the turn. Oh my, Blount is upside down. He's in trouble. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Well, Gordon Larson Jr. was the one that got the situation started. And I don't even know what happened from there. Take a look at the replay here, see if we can get a good look from who began this whole mess. Well, Michael Pratt, he went right up at the 00. Caught him there, and then there goes Morasco. Destroyed there. And then from there, absolute madness. Oh my goodness. I mean, there really wasn't a whole lot that could be done, but unfortunately, this is certainly not what I would expect of it. There you see Pratt, yep, it gets the 00. Larson Jr. saves himself, but Pratt not so much. Morasco at this point's lost control, it looks like, and then Pratt's lost complete control of everything else. Yeah, it looked like he lost power steering in that number 1. At that point, he was done for. He had really no choice he could do with it. Take a look at Pratt here, his onboard camera. We'll see if we can see what exactly happened there that started this mess. Car drifted up just slightly. He catches him off the corner, and then next thing you know, bam! They try to refire, and then that was definitely an arc brake situation. Man, Eric Blount, just absolutely 2 double whammies there for him. That was a nasty, nasty situation there. I apologize in advance to anyone that might get a little queasy. Oh. That's what it looks like on the onboard camera. It's a nasty, nasty hit. 1 green-white checker coming up. That's all they get. 1 attempt. We'll leave with 1 driver on top, one way or another. Next flag determines it. Whether it's a white or a checker, it doesn't matter. We got to get this finished up. Man, what's Eric Paulson thinking right now? Like, how the heck have we not somehow, some way been able to just stay away from this madness and be able to just finish this one out on top already? Considering everything that's happened, everything that's gone down. So this is it, race fans. Here we go. Only green-white checker attempts. It's their only opportunity. They messed this up. It's over with. This race is done with. Somebody's coming out on top. Somebody may be on top of their roof. We'll find out. Top 5 on your screen. One last time. Can we get this finish in? Down to the checkers. Looking for the green. The green is out. Paulson looking to try to come away with this one. Got to the line. White flag in the air. This time on by. Paulson trying to stay away from Treywick. Hughes and them trying to hunt back down. And the field, one nasty wreck after another. Michael Pratt getting in there with the throttle Chantel bottle. But coming to the final 2 turns. Treywick thinks he's got something. Can he get him off turn 4? He's not going to have time. It's going to be Derek Paulson, your winner. Todd Poston really coming along the line backwards there, as they are still wrecking down there at the corner. Nevertheless, your race winner today at Iowa Speedway will be the number 06, Derek Paulson, taking another one home. Managing to hold down Blake Treywick to the line and keeping this one up for grabs. A long, long road just to hang on to this one. What a fight out and what a drive out for every driver, having to come to the end and having to fight for that one. Well, off also celebrates. Time to take a look at your finishing positions. 2 drivers not able to make the call. Derek Paulson, though, coming out on top. Treywick coming away second. Third, Hughes. Fourth, Kahn. Larson Jr. fifth. Holloway sixth. McNeese seventh. Coe going eighth. Marasco ninth. 10th to Radford. That ends out the top 10. Be interesting to hear what these drivers got in store for us here. Coming away here in the 3rd place position today, race fans here. Frank Hughes now with us. And Frank, congratulations bringing out a home of 3rd place today. And man, was that quite a bit of a road there. You had to kind of travel down just to even get to the spot here, sir.
Yeah, I messed up there coming out of 2. I touched the apron and spun it out, and I kept it to the apron so that no caution would come out. But luckily, like a lap or 2 later, caution came out and helped me get back into the field and tighten everything back up.
Tighten everything back up and tighten yourself out just to hang on to this position. Now, I know obviously there was a lot of full throttle assaults and a few times you had to kind of get this thing under control, but nevertheless, just the fact you're able to even come this way in 3rd, I mean, does that kind of add on to the roster for you and the team?
Oh yeah, I mean, over the last, I want to say 2 to 3 races, I've had a pretty bad cloud over me, I guess you can say, that I wasn't having the finishes, but I would be able to run up in the front. I'm just glad I was able to pull out a top 3 and have a finish to show for tonight.
Sure there. Well, nevertheless, they're going to come out on top with 3rd place today. Who do you want to thank for this podium position?
I want to thank my sponsor, Hughes' Garage in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. They also have another location in North Carolina in Hickory. I also want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and also want to thank the league for allowing me to run with you guys still.
For sure there. Well, Hughes, great to hear from you again and putting up a podium today. Congratulations on that, sir.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Hughes going to take this one on home for a 3rd place finish today here. Time to listen in, though, to our other finishers today. Blake Treywick coming out with a solid 2nd place today. Good showing from him and the team. Haven't seen him in the voice chat yet, so we'll just kind of give him a minute, see if he'll pop down. But nevertheless, congratulations to him if he does not show up here in the next few minutes. We will just head on our way from the show. But, yeah, you know who's coming up next, ladies and gentlemen. He is the one that tops it up on top, ladies and gentlemen. Derek Paulson coming away on another victory lane trip. And Derek, congratulations on that, having to hold that green-white checker. And man, that, oh boy, was that something.
Yeah, all those late race cautions I did not want to see. My car was better when we were when we'd get some green flag runs. Blake was awesome at hot lapping here during the race. I truly thought he would get me towards the end. It's actually a little annoyed with all those late race cautions because I'm like, well, this is just hurting me. But I got lucky and was able to hold on to it.
Able to hold on to it, able to keep yourself tied around and able to focus down for the final leg of this one. So I'll ask you this, sir. I mean, really, what was the biggest key points even in keeping the strategy up for grabs and keeping yourself in this position to be able to hang on to this for this one?
Track position made a big key. Hard to pass. Um, I was surprised at how well um, the car was handling for me. Setup was a little bit loose. Um, again, all track position made a big difference. And yeah, I don't. It's just something, you know. I didn't know when to take tires, when not to take tires. Um, some of us took it a little bit early. Some of us took tires late. I really would have liked to see the race day um, green, so we could have saw some of those strategies played out. Because I think it would have been a really good race down the stretch. But just wasn't meant to be today. Again, car was tight slash loose. Couldn't hardly pass on the bottom. That was one reason why we saw so many cautions here tonight.
Yeah, it certainly was indeed, but nevertheless, still coming out on top. But you want to thank her for this one?
I got to thank you up in the booth. I got to thank all the admins, and I got to thank Dave up there in the booth as well, doing all the admin stuff. Miss you, Tim. I know you're out. Hopefully you're enjoying if you're golfing. Got to thank Ty in there with MFRD. You know, he kind of got wrecked second to the last wreck there, and he came back and got a top 10, so that's pretty good for getting in some of those melees. And I got to thank Michael Fall Racing Designs for doing our paints. And again, just for the guys that showing up tonight, you know, if they don't show up, we don't have a league. So I got to thank them for coming out and participating with us.
That was great to see you participate in this one in a hard way today. Paulson, congratulations out there, bud.
Yep, thank you.
On top of it all again, Derek Paulson, your race winner. That'll about do it here, race fans. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, sorry, Eddie fans. Congratulations to them, and a big thank you to Fort Worth Screen Printing and Lightning Wrapz for the support. Race fans, we'll catch you guys next time with the Green Flag Flies and PT Race TV.